ladies and gentlemen, now we're inside Key Food, and we're with Christine Filardi, who wrote this great book, Home Cooking for Your Dog. And Christine, we're in the aisles here at Key Food, and you want to talk about some products that would be great for pets.
Yes.
So let's take it away. Christine Filardi.
Okay, thank you so much. This is going to be one of my favorite shows because I always talk about everyday items in your food store that you can use to feed your dog or your cat in lieu of having to go to a pet food store. So one of my favorite things to feed both my dogs and my cats are sardines. And this can of sardines, even though it's in tomato sauce, you can actually rinse off all the tomato sauce. And I have to tell you that I can feed Howie 4 cats on this one can. Also, my dogs love sardines and they're very healthy for the dogs. So when you come shopping for yourself, you can come down the fish aisle and pick up fish like sardines. Remember to rinse the tomato sauce. Another really great fish is salmon. I always cook salmon. Even though I advocate raw meat diet, I always cook fish. You always want to cook salmon. Another really great fish is mackerel. And oftentimes these cans, 15-ounce cans for a medium-sized dog, you can easily feed 2 meals if you add in some grains or vegetables. We also have tuna fish. We have a few other canned fishes here. But my point is that you can come into any food store and find these. They are less expensive than most pet foods, probably all at this point in time, and they're very accessible. So let's go over to the grain aisle. Follow me. A lot of people can't believe that I would suggest feeding grains, but I do, and I find no problem with it. I have fed grains for 15 years. Of course, if your dog is allergic, you don't have to feed grains, but I always like to question what type of grains are we talking about. Are we talking about grains in pet food, which are very questionable, or real grains?
I love Twinkies. Should we give Twinkies to your dog? No Twinkies! No Twinkies!
Never. No Twinkies and no cooked bones, which we'll talk about in a moment. So a store like this has a whole section. I love Bob's Red Mill. You can also buy stuff like this at most other stores. There's a lot of different types of grains like millets. You can also use flours like amaranth to make treats. In fact, one of my recipes in my cookbook is made with amaranth flour. We have bulgur. This is another grain. Kasha, buckwheat flour, excellent if you want to make treats. Let's come around here. There's a whole section here. We have wheat berries. What else do we have? Farro and millet. These are all grains that I do feed my pets and I do have in my recipes in my book. Of course, at times I also give them pasta. Some people can't believe that, but I do. If I have some pasta left over and a can of fish, maybe some boiled sweet potatoes, it's really an excellent meal. So we have different grains we can feed if we choose. We have fish, animal protein, and then of course we can take it over to the vegetable aisle if you want to come with me. We're going to head over here. So some really great vegetables that you can feed your pets. Now that we're coming to the fall, canned pumpkin is excellent. I'll add, come with me, we're gonna come down here. We don't have canned pumpkin right now, but I'm gonna show you things like bananas. This is a fruit that my dogs happen to love. Let's see what else. Sorry, Howie, we're bumping into each other. We have celery, is an excellent vegetable for your dogs. We have carrots. Now these are vegetables that you can easily put in a food processor, chop them up real fine. They're easier to digest when you chop them in the food processor. Most vegetables I do suggest that you do raw. I do, however, like to cook certain ones. I like to steam kale. I like to boil potatoes. They love boiled sweet potatoes. So those are just some different vegetables that we can do. Another source of animal protein always, which was the most important part of the diet, beef, chicken, turkey, duck. We talked about canned fish. That should be the bulk of your dog or cat's diet. Cats mostly need meat. We can do grains, and we can also do fruits and vegetables. Next week I'll talk about the extras that we can add in there just to round out the meal. If you have any other questions, you can always contact me here at the Halftime Howie Show. Thanks so much.
All right, Christine, let's also talk about